M80, they enter right back and they take the map pick of Oxygen. Welcome back, everyone. This is not something that we expected because we talked about Oxygen being 9-0 on the map of Sunset. We saw that 9-3 half for Oxygen. We thought this was going to be over, but M80 Shift, they have a different story to tell.
Can we see some defense? I mean, what are we talking about here? 54 total rounds of Valorant, 14 rounds of defensive wins, 4 of which came on anti-bonus rounds. Unreal stuff. I have no idea what it is with these two squads, but it's a lot of free plants. A lot of the guys are just trying to play retake, and it's just not going all that well. I mean, you kind of start things off in this first half. Koala Noob was a non-factor, like Wyatt said. 3 total kills in the first half, and it looked like the Yoru was going to be a non-factor for the entirety of this map. Until we catch a little momentum at the end of the half, and then we jump into the second. He goes 20-6 in the second half with a 4-0 first blood count. And I'll be honest, a lot of it was just too free. We just were not getting good pressure on Koala Noob whatsoever. Dapper was just caught in so many just raw peaks where he's just trying to play an angle, and that just wasn't working at all out for Oxygen. So a massive comeback effort in a map that looked like it was going to be a runaway for Oxygen in the first half.
Yeah, and I want to talk about Net, right? Because I felt like Net was truly playing with his heart and soul and putting up a fight. He gave M80 their very first round with that really awesome spray transfer, really utilizing his Cypher one-way cages. And overall, I mean, he just played so well, and he got a very crucial 4K on the pistol round once they swapped over to the attacking side that I think really helped boost them.
It's just, you get the pistol, it seems like it's winnable, and they start actually making it winnable. And you mentioned the defense shift, but it was pretty much the story of having the understanding for M80, having the understanding of how Oxygen wanted to play this aggressive defensive side where we see them pushing towards mid a couple times, and guess what? It's going to be Koala Noob holding you down with an operator, waiting for that mistake to happen, and I mean, getting a call out in one of those rounds. So it's something that M80 understood really well, probably after watching all those VODs of Oxygen on Sunset Shift, and that's what makes it possible.
Yeah, the mind games, I think, that come through with the operator showcasing itself kind of midway through that offensive round kind of kept Oxygen from being able to get those good adjustments on the defensive side, which we kind of started to see in the overtime from Lotus and map number 1. But I just think that was just an extra variable that, once again, kind of like we talked about on Lotus, Oxygen was just giving a little bit too much respect towards. I mean, get your information, get your read, and then let him just exist. They still have to break onto site, and Yoru with an operator is just not as much of an influence as you would normally think. You know, in terms of how you would normally kind of build your composition around trying to pull a scope into the mix, you know, usually throwing something like a jet with a shorty or something of the nature. So it definitely felt like Oxygen kind of got caught and maybe just a little bit in their heads about what was happening on the defensive side, but at the same rate, you can't not tip the fact that Koala goes 20-6 on the second half of the map, 4-0 in first blood engagements, plus of course the collat. And then on the same front, you know, Net really did at least give M80 a fighting chance defensively a couple of different times. So, you know, really impressed with what he's been able to do on the Cypher to this point, but flat out, we need to start seeing some frickin' defense, because wow, these are just way too free, these execute post plant holds.
Yeah, both of these teams are attacking teams. They both have really good attacking sides. Both went 9-3. But we were talking pregame about M80 and if they could go on and take the map pick from Oxygen Esports. And I said that they could. This is a team that has been well established. They have a very strong mentality, and they were down 9-3. And if they were going to lose that map, they were going to go to lower brackets. They show that they can shine when it's needed, and I'm excited to see map 3.
And this is true. You called it out. I was like, should we be worried about M80? And you were like, don't worry, it's fine. They have a great mental. They know how to deal with these situations. And guess what? I mean, you had the vision. You end up being right. This is the first time that Oxygen get taken on that map of Center. But that means the series gets even more excited because we go to Ascent and Shift. You are asking and begging for defense, and I think this is the map for it.
You'd be right. M80's defensive side way better than their offensive. However, that is because they still play the Yoru and they play this Cypher deadlock combination. So their defense is naturally going to be kind of a hunt for info, lockdown with utility base. The problem is their offense is terrible. 35%, 37% win rate so far throughout this entire stage, this entire year of Challengers. Where on the other side, Oxygen play the normal flash and dash with the KO Jet with the help of a Killjoy and an Omen. So they're pretty much as predictable as you could possibly be in terms of standard meta that we've seen across this map over the course of the last handful of years. Now, I will say the last time that Oxygen played this map, it was quite a while ago. And so we came into Lotus with some expectations of what their comp would be. That changed. Has the deadlock influence also potentially moved them from going into the Jet KO combination that was kind of their staple at the beginning parts of this stage?
And it's something that you were saying, that you like the Yoru, you like the Yoru in Ascent, and it's something that we've seen for M80 a couple times. The question is, yeah, it's kind of the surprise factor. You don't really know exactly how it's going to play out, but now that we've seen it a couple times, how much do you think the preparation is going to be for Oxygen to take it down and maybe even see a way to counter it?
I think it's... Oh, go ahead, Em.
Oh, hello. Sorry. I think for M80, they've played it 4 times, and they in stage 2, and they've won 3 out of the 4 times with the Euro pick. I think the Euro tech matching with the deadlock tech is extremely difficult to play against. So like you were saying, is Oxygen Esports going to be able to find a counter to this very strong comp on Ascent?
I think the biggest thing about it is in the matches that we've seen M80 win, the Yoru has been a problem for MXS as well as for Fluffy Aimers. I mean, their offensive took at least 6 rounds. So that's the mark that I'm looking for. You have to at least split the offensive side when you're there through M80.
And we're going to see if that's going to be possible. If Oxygen have an answer here, let's jump into the agent select, see what's going to be new for these two teams, or things are going to remain the same. In M80, they continue to play with this Yoru and the deadlock in the hands of Nismo. But for Oxygen, you're going to be seeing Dapper on this deadlock that we saw earlier today as well, Emily.
Yep, and he was playing really well on that agent too. I think deadlock is needed on this map if you're going to be playing against a Yoru, but also let's talk about the Cypher. I think Net is incredibly talented on Cypher. He's gonna have these cheeky one-ways where you can only see the toes, and he's really gonna do a good job on holding down the site.
I think on the other front here, we need to see a bounce back map for Redux. There's going to be a lot of pressure on finding value out of this Jet, and he wasn't able to provide that in the last map on the Raze. So I think that's going to be another focus point here with Oxygen Esports continuing to flip up the compositions to maybe be more current to what the meta is. Now I'm just looking at the one thing that is odd about this comp comparatively to M80, and that is Redux on the Jet.
Well, whoever wins here between M80 and Oxygen, they're going to be 1 match away from making it to Ascension. So the stakes are high. We're going to see which one is going to take down this map and this series. Casters, take it away.
Last game of the series, and it's going to be a banger. Super excited. Deadlock making an appearance again. But, you know, after the last game, I'm sure that M80 are feeling pretty good.
Absolutely. I mean, the series started terribly for them, down by so much on Lotus, almost come back, multiple OT game and lose, down by so much on Sunset, come back and actually win. Crazy that they had the mental resolve to pull that off. Both teams have really tested each other at this point. Oxygen now having to bounce back from throwing away that massive lead that they had, feeling like they could have just closed this out 2-0. And now we have to go to a map that they haven't played a whole lot in 2024, or really at all, to try and close this series out, move along in the bracket. And it's up against an opponent, M80, that most people thought heading into this year would be the team to win the Ascension, to qualify into partnerships.
I think that's Tier 2 map that you haven't played too much of as well. Kind of making its appearance, but sure, having plenty of practice, Ascent being kind of that default map, but of course already, I mean, a quick takedown off Redux. They do entry by themselves, but I'm assuming it was part of the plan as everybody else making their way down towards mid.
Kuala Noob finding that kill, just able to teleport off. We're trying to use that shock dart back sight. Nismo anchored up with BCJ, ready to fight.
One enemy
For it.
remaining.
VCJ is just pretty much weaving and bobbing in and out of the smoke, trying to find something. The Mitch left alone. It's Oxygen that don't win the pistol round this time around.
Great opening for M80. They have finally started one of these maps in the lead. I don't want to curse them and they immediately get anti-eco'd, but this is the first time that they've actually begun a game with some control. Wallenoob able to get that first kill and teleport away to safety. Didn't get traded. And that is the benefit of the Yoru on this map. It wouldn't be Challengers if we didn't have 2 Deadlocks and 2 Cyphers on Ascent. But they like to mix things up by bringing that Yoru in.
They're looking to push themselves up on A. For M80, they're just want to keep the site, take hold. I mean, keep the lead going at this point. Yeah, Kualanu might just be able to catch out. They're all circled around here on Oxygen.
Yeah, and if Oxygen do try to go into this site, they are going to walk into the crossfire that awaits them. Nismo and Xander taking things pretty slow, and now they're going to be even slower. Have fun waiting for that to go down. Literally just going to be stood there until the clock runs out. I'm going to go, I don't know, maybe take a nap, get a sandwich or something while we wait for this wall to go down.
See that, but already, yeah, Nismo's making
30 seconds left.
waves going down. And a quick round, that could be, but just looking to make the action happen. Redux does get lucky. Maybe the pickup of a Bulldog will change the way that things are going, because now this is where things do start to turn around a little bit. It's getting close. But I don't think it's going to work out right now in this moment. It's Kualanu alongside BCJ that keep the clutch going.
They win the round, but it was not in smooth fashion at all. That was tough over on the A side, trying to deal with Redux getting up in their face. They take a pretty significant amount of damage, M80, on the defense. Looking to see how they're going to set up, though, now around this double sentinel look. With that info trip in mid. Not committing a whole lot into this round, though. Not buying up much. They want to be able to have the full buy on the next. I mean, you can see Net just has a ghost. He didn't even get a light armor. He just straight up has a ghost. Possibly intending on trying to buy the operator for Kualanu in this next, or in the following round, I imagine.
Execution. Not necessarily there just yet. Again, keeping some patience, and Kualanu playing alongside BCJ, looking to find out what the curiosity is behind the extremities there. Already finding a beautiful shot off Mitch, though.
That's just pure aggression. Kualanu feeling it after going 20 for 6 on the second half of last map, and Xander with the judge. They're just never going to nerf it. It'll just never be nerfed.
There's no way. Kind of relaxing right now at this point. Waiting to get themselves back onto site. Oxygen can't seem to find the opening. Wow, okay, through box, Nismo has it.
And this round has fallen apart piece by piece for Oxygen. This was their buy. They're about to lose to a bonus that involved going up against a Cypher with a ghost, no armor. Scuba caught Kualanu wandering through where he spawned earlier in that round. Kualanu pretending to be the clone, and he gets away with it. You're kidding. If he swings and kills Verno, I'm dead. All right, it's not gonna... Wait, the flash is good, and he does it. I can't. I actually can't. That is so silly. The bonus is converted. They get a rifle over to Net.
Dude, that's crazy.
The judge is so stupid.
That's actually
He can't be allowed to get away with that. He can't get away with it.
3-0. That's... M80 are pretty much Uno reversing Oxygen right now.
Qualanoob is 7-0. 7-0. He's going crazy. Since swapping to the Yoru, I mean, specifically, really, since the second half of Sunset, in the last 16 rounds of Valorant, he's 27 for 6. That is mental. Make that 28 for 6 in the last 16 rounds of Valorant. I mean, what the hell are we watching?
They just found their groove with the Yoru, honestly. I can see the comfort behind that pick now, though. Oh, my gosh. I don't think he can get past Qualanoob at this point in time, but of course, Ultimate's still loaded up. Ready to use it? Not yet. They're feeling pretty good for M80. Honestly, at this point,
No charges.
pretty good feeling in my stomach, though. Nismo does catch out majority. 50 seconds left, so they know the push has to commence here.
Trying to break that wall down, trying to get in as fast as possible. Qualanoob has already rotated over just for some extra reinforcements to bunker down back sight.
Spike down.
They're looking. Okay, well, everything's done. Everything is done. Everybody's dead. Everybody's not alive.
They're
Oxygen-
they're extremely dead.
Dude,
You are correct.
they feel it. They know how it feels now to go to be that O in the 4-0 perspective, and it does not feel good at all.
Their economy is out of control right now, M80. Timeout's going to be called, though, from Oxygen, from their coach, Bonkar. They're on the cusp of having a few crucial ultimates. And right now, something that I have noticed that I would like to see addressed from the Oxygen team and from their coach is that on a couple of these rounds so far, they've been so silent and showing such little presence that they're not drawing out any of the defender utility. We've seen 2 times now where Nismo has been able to throw down a barrier mesh late in the round at the perfect time to essentially drain the clock entirely. Or in that previous round we just saw, it just wasted enough time that they had to break it. And then while that was happening, Qualanoob was in his ultimate, had rotated over as a reinforcement to the rest of the players that were, holding back sight. They need to do a better job at trying to draw out some of this utility, deal with some of this, those aspects of the Sentinel setup. Otherwise, they're just going to be running into a brick wall late into the round.
Sound sensor. Listening.
They got in the bag at this point, though, because Qualanoob pulling out the op and out, peeking up towards A. This is going to be a bloodbath. Never seen any. Yep, okay, first one's already down. And that's so detrimental. You lose out on Redux, like your plan completely falls apart.
It is just obscene how many first kills Qualanoob has been getting in these past 2 maps. It's out of control. I have not seen him play like this. I don't think at any point this year. I mean, he is a fantastic player. Currently in stage 2, he's number 5 in the league as far as stats go. But this is otherworldly from him. I mean, he is putting the team on his back to get into that upper final, to try and get to the Ascension Tournament, to right the wrongs from last year where they failed in second place. He is hungry to get there again and to qualify for partnership.
They still have it. Oh my gosh, and he's settled up so good. Nobody's going to peek this, though, without any information, so they have to force this out of their hands. Maybe luring a 1v1, tons of damage just put onto Dapper.
The clock has run down so much. 20 seconds for Oxygen to work with.
And they're still fighting this, though. 2 players already looking for the extra way out. And it's not going to be Qualanoob. Can't settle in for more. Now with that 10 seconds left, the time going down, M80, they're still in a position where they could bring this back, right? They have the Odin, they have the potential. Not to mention, maybe the Recon Dart starting to load itself up.
Yeah, these players are quite low for Oxygen. A couple stray bullets from that Odin could be enough. Dapper only 18 HP, playing back dice.
1 enemy remaining.
Oh my gosh, and that's it for them. Does manage to get one, but a 1v2, how easy is that going to be? Can't even secure the halfway point. And the Recon Dart shots, and I know that nobody's going for it. Beautiful shot to start off. But they know they can rush this down. Maybe not. They don't care about it. And it's only 2 that needs to connect. Maybe get it half and pick off the fight. The beauty of it is there. And they know they have it.
No.
They've secured the round for M80.
He played that masterfully. What a clutch from Net. I am stunned. That was incredible. 1 versus 2 with both players main with it planted on Ascent. Hunter's Fury activated. Everything about that was perfect. The crosshair placement onto Mitch, baiting out that jump peek, runs forward, knowing that he would get Verno to stop using the Hunter's Fury. Gets us a I'm blown away. What a 1v2. That is astounding from Net. He has had such high impact rounds on Sunset and now here to further this lead for M80. Finally in firm control of one of these maps. Their economy is out of control. Snowballing into Ultimate soon. Dimensional Drift, Annihilation in the near future. I have not seen this team activated like this.
Dude.
I don't think this year. They are hitting a new level at the right time.
They're so good for it. Ascent might have just been the best third map pick ever. Nismo. Okay, Kravnet, but how long is that going to hold you off? Not so sure for... Oh my gosh. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. Mitch doesn't even see it. M80, they've just annihilated everyone off the board once again, but Verno's trying to keep this back. Doesn't care too much about Dapper there. And at the end of the day, it's M80 again, just like eliminating everyone in seconds.
It is just perfection from them right now. I still can't get over that clutch from the other round. I'm going to be honest. That was one of the most perfectly played clutches I have ever seen. And then immediately the round after, yeah, they get into that annihilation. Nismo gets another kill with it. Is so consistent with them. I rarely will ever see him miss with that ultimate. Fully forced into this round are Oxygen.
Get out of my
Redux
way.
with a Bucky because he has the knives. Koala, no! Oh my god, he is unstoppable. You just can't be hitting shots like that with the consistency that he's hitting them with right now.
He said absolutely not. Dude, it's like every single time. The moment you peek, there's absolutely no chance for you. We did get to see an inkling of it too, like when we were watching down on Lotus. Like, actually, my apologies, Sunset. The quick takes, right, playing onto that Yor with the Yacht, being able to find themselves the shots. Now Blacklight Flawless once again coming down from M80, and they are like just unstoppable, dude.
They look utterly phenomenal right now. 7-0. That was a force from Oxygen. They hung around in that round for what, 10 seconds? How is Koala Noob getting a kill on Cat with the off and then getting a kill with B-Made in the off 3 seconds with the off 3 seconds later? It's crazy. I have not seen this team in the flow state like this at all this year. Koala Noob's 14-1 right now.
This is so good, dude. Koala just won't stop doing it. But everybody peeks out the angle. They know they need to play as a team. They know they need some sort of cohesion moving into the site, but it's not going to be enough. Cassandra now holding the up and down underneath Hell's Net. Despite everything they try to work for, the fast approach, winning out on majority of their shots, now finally being able to peek out the corner. Luckily enough, Mitch, being able to read into the situation, but a 3v3, and chances higher for Oxygen to win that first round.
That positioned himself there so well, circling the cage after being pinged by the neural theft, but just got a little too greedy, waited a little too long to pull the trigger. Probably could have sealed the deal on the round for his team. And now it's a 3-on-3 retake. Opportunity for Oxygen to finally get there first.
Dude, they're not giving up though. Enemy remaining. Util isn't there. They know they need to fight this regardless, knowing that they're low too. Mitch, 8 health, and he needs to play the angle, but it's not going to happen.
Even in a situation like that, 3 versus 3, M80. Just look electric. Nismo, so consistent. Phenomenal rifler.
There's no need for the enemy to suffer.
At least for Oxygen, that wasn't their buy. This is going to be the actual one. Coming into the round with the Annihilation. relatively close to getting the Hunter's Fury. M80 continues to actually leave this operator in the hands of Xander. Nope, going to switch it off just at the last second there. All right, it is back to Koala Noob, who has his 40th dimensional drift of this series.
Are they going to keep it going, though? That 8-0 offers for a chance of redirection there in terms of what the scoreline's looking like, but it's not going to be too easy. BCJ spamming out whatever's going on the B site and the spike residing there, so we're still keeping the time.
Koala Noob has pressed up and gotten some good map control towards main. Off his contact, BCJ just ready to spam away with that Odin. Every part of the map currently being watched by M80. They've got trips for everything. The cam towards a mid-trip also being watched by Nismo. No corner unchecked.
And created that tag there, dude. What? And it still doesn't matter. BCJ there for the trade-off. Of course, Scuba gets caught, and everybody else on Oxygen. They have the weapons to win up this round, but it's like, now you're just getting trolled. Like,
I'm back.
Koala Noob's still there. Oh my gosh. No, there's no way. No, there's no way! There's no way!
I can't. At least Mitch gets that one. 2 versus 4, though. 20 seconds on the clock. 2 players backside. Crossfire set up. There's no way Oxygen can bring this back, surely.
Gosh, the run bait.
10 seconds left.
Absolutely
One
crazy.
enemy remaining.
They're still going for it, too. Oxygen, they're just done for. Can't use the ultimate. Can't try to secure the round. Can't fight the 1v1s. 9-0, though. Man.
Oxygen have had some dominant leads in this series, but nothing has looked as one-sided as this right now. Koala Noob, I can't. 2 times this map, the fake clone. I mean, if Mitch didn't, like, move to the right, if he didn't jiggle swing like that, he might have gotten killed. Oh my god. That is... Listen, when you're getting in a qualifier match to the Ascension playoffs, when your opposing Yoru is hitting you with the fake I'ma just walk forward clone TP twice, that kind of paints the picture, golfers, of where we're at in this game. M80 are running away with it.
They're chilling. Koala Noob is 16-3. Like, this guy just, like, every time he runs out, expect the kill, expect the pick. Man, M80 are literally thriving right now. And it's got to feel so good, too, because Oxygen, they lost the last game. You know, whatever, they beat themselves up for it. But to come in here and now go 0-9 is, like, a big mental destroyer.
I mean, M80 are playing right now like how they imagined this comp would work when they drew it up with Yoru. Like that, we'll give Koala Noob the up. He'll push forward here, then teleport back, and we'll have our Sentinel trips around it. So if they hit this area of the map, they'll run into this cam setup with the trip. Like, everything they have possibly attempted work, except for this. Except that, they will try to Hunter's Fury immediately off Nismo, just swinging in. Oh my god, the dash into Wine as well. I thought there was about to be a second engagement. That was a little silly. I don't know if that's how they drew that one up, but...
They don't want anything to deal with. Anything in terms of the ops, so they're opting for A. Not really wanting to continue this push, though. They're keeping patient, keeping a steady stride.
Noise completely cut right now, waiting to use that neural theft. Xander revealed, forced to teleport away. Oh, great util from Oxygen.
One enemy remaining.
They got it. Okay.
Alright, doesn't matter. I mean, actually, cool. Doesn't matter.
They will scurry.
Wrap it up. 10-0. Beautiful utility to try to get in. It just simply doesn't matter.
What in the world is going on? What in the... And the bear's floating. This whole world is just messed up. I'm like sitting here watching this game right now, and I feel like everybody else what's going on.
That's actually Kuala Noob ascending to the astral plane mentally right now.
This is incredible.
He is actually different today. He's pushing down mid with the AWP right now, teleported away to B, and it's just a fast hit on A from Oxygen.
Sanders just looking for some sort of pick. Oxygen, they finally have made a conversion. When it comes down to getting themselves onto the site, now all they have to do is keep it, right? 10-0, they can at least get 2 rounds into their pockets and make sure everything goes well. But of course, the Odin was a big detriment before.
And they should be able to win this post plant. Man advantage, deadlock utility up.
Cutting through.
Oh, he's just spraying it down. Doesn't even matter at this point. Okay! That is so illegal, and it should not have happened. But they're still going to do it anyway. Just underneath, got someone else. Now they're good. Kuala Noob left onto the site, and for some reason, the shots just don't miss. They don't miss.
Are joking. I mean, wrap it up. This is
wrap it up.
I mean, we have just not seen M80 like this at any point this year. They have kicked it into a totally different echelon. They're in a totally different tier right now. Kuala Noob 18 for 3. Oxygen in that round, they're like, nothing's working. All right, back to basics. Let's go for a fast hit with the ults. Let's go A. They get the site. They get the man advantage. They have deadlock util for post plant, and it doesn't matter. M80 are just perfect right now. Every player is hitting every shot.
Like aligned right now. Okay, they did finally have like a difference to the way they approach mid, but dude, Nismo is just running it down, and the confidence has consumed them. M80, not the time to start making mistakes like this. They couldn't take it back. It's the same trio that we saw before.
Sound sensor out.
Just the same 3, but now they're up against 5.
Yeah. Oh, they're waiting for Paranoia. This is actually so perfect. They do manage to bring that ultimate to life, but of course, unfortunately for everybody else, it's not going to work out the way that was planned. Xander
last player standing.
Playing into this 1v4. I don't even think it's going to work out for them. They played a very, very, very good game. Already coming into that 11-1 to end off the half. So all they need is 2 pistol round, pretty much.
Switching sides.
We've seen M80 go for 2 insane comebacks already in this series. They've teed up Oxygen to prove that they can do the same. Though this one is even crazier. Both of M80's were, I think they were both 9-3s. 11-1, somewhat more difficult. Somewhat more difficult. It has to be. I mean, it always feels silly to say in a situation like this, but Oxygen, they need to be flawless. They need to win this important pistol, Gompers, all of that stuff. Like, yeah, obviously. M80 are just the perfect team right now. Oxygen have to be even more perfect.
Dude, they're chilling. They feel so good right now, if you're M80. Like, I don't even know. It's crazy. And Kuala Noob is, like, still trying to fight this one out. Of course, you see Kuala Noob back off. I feel like that's a pretty... He's just been crazy.
Shock darts coming in to break those trips. And that is a successful endeavor for M80.
Cover going out.
Allowing a bit easier access to the B site.
Looking for a rotation. They have so much info outside of A, dude, and they're just not playing off it. Oh, this is crazy. They're gonna hit B.
Full noise cut over towards B. Redux kinda drifting back, maybe just in time to pick up the angle. Try to support Dapper.
Wow. Redux literally got shot right down.
Escape.
Now even then with the deadlock, he's still standing down back site. There's way too much utility coming back around. They have to hit the backside, but can it happen straight? No, it can't. It just ends up going south. 4v3. Redux just looking to shoot things down, though, as they do have the post plant, might work out in favor for it. Maybe all they need is the pistol round again to try to get some sort of redemption, but so much damage. got the possibility for Nismo to do absolutely more. Unfortunately, didn't align just yet, but still right clicks hitting and connecting. He just needs one. And will it come easily? Mitch is moving up to the point where one tap could be enough. And the 1v1. This might be it for the match point to keep them alive. Off around might just be able to find it. Right click down to the 3 bullets. And the Zippo clutch, the headshots that come in. It works.
Even when Oxygen find the little advantages, they just can't close out against an M80 team that refuses to miss a shot. It was great work from Dapper backside, saying a lot, got his, dealt damage. Find some time for Redux to be able to swing and find another. But Xander just looking too good. Koala Noob actually unstoppable. Oxygen, of course, force into this round. Stingers, a Marshall. M80 on the cusp of making it to that upper final. And then they're just one step away from making it to the Ascension Tournament in Monterey later this year.
Oh my gosh.
He's perfect.
They're combining this so well. They already have 2 down. M80.
He's actually the perfect player. Koala Noob can do no wrong.
I mean, when he's feeling it, he's good. Like, it's crazy. That first game, you know, wasn't looking too solid. Now finally coming into, like, the second and the last, just slowly ramping it back up for Koala Noob in terms of gameplay. And now the TP returning back down to site. This is a huge flank coming through from Nato. Might just be able to close things out sooner than later, and that may just be it. The Blacklight flawless again. So many flawlesses, so many clutches coming through from M80. And the dream stays alive because now, of course, they are one step closer to being able to prove themselves.
Such a win for them, not just to make it through to the upper final. Obviously, that is the headline of this, them being just one match away from making it back to the Ascension Tournament this year, where they finished second last year, getting another shot and making it to the Partnership League. Net the winner of last year's Ascension Tournament, now joining them, trying to win a back-to-back with them. But this team, it's also a testament to how good they've gotten over stage 2. From the beginning of it, Net joining just after Nitro had left, struggling to get wins, having close losses, none of their wins even looking easy, to now where they're able to have such a dominant showing against Ox, one of the other best teams. Phenomenal performance.
Absolutely. But of course, we do have the analyst test to break things down for you and why M80 were able to run away with such a great one.
And we had the question of who was going to take that last map, but M80 answered in the most dominant way possible, taking it 2-1 on this series. And that last map of Ascent where Emily, we were talking about the Yoru, the impact, and Koala Noob made sure that the impact was there.
Yeah, we were talking about it pregame of the Yoru. You gotta watch out for the Yoru tech because he's gonna keep you on your toes. And I just thought like Koala was playing him perfectly. He was getting the aggressive picks, getting those first bloods, and then he was TPing out, and you weren't sure where he was gonna go next. So he was playing that beautifully. Even on the rounds where you thought it was going to go in Oxygen Esports way, they still found a way to retakes on 3v4s and just clutch it through. So what a strong performance from M80. I felt like this is the best that they have looked so far in all of Stage 2. I don't know what you think, Chef.
I think when you are playing your Yoru so well that you can try to become the decoy and it works, that might be all we need to say. I mean, we talk about confidence oozing out of his eardrums if you're trying to pull off plays like that. And you know, just like, I'm sure if Riot's watching, like developers, they're like, we want someone to try this. That's part of his kit. So the fact that he tries to pull that out is just unbelievable. Straight up just the Yoru show, the Koala Pro show. I mean, just from start to finish, insane stuff.
A 13-1 for this last map. I mean, think about it. It was a 16-14 on the map number 1, a 13-11 for the map number 2, and in this third one, the contrast, a 13-11 for M80 to close the series out, to be one series away from making it to Ascension. It's insane to think about, and it's just everything was working in place, everything that was going the way that they expected. It seems like it was also just a shutdown for Oxygen completely, where they were trying to find answers towards the first couple rounds, and Emily, they couldn't find anything to close them out.
They couldn't, and we were talking about this when we were analyzing how we thought the match would go. There's just deadlock Euro combo is extremely difficult to play against if you're not too used to it, and it just seemed like Oxygen Esports couldn't really find an answer, honestly, of how to counter this really annoying setup that they had.
For me, it just felt like this whole series, in certain regards, you know, there are some gaps in terms of when we last saw Oxygen play these maps, but it did feel like this was a forced compositional adjustment that just got away from the Oxygen identity that we saw at the end of stage 2, where they're playing a bunch of initiation, you know, try to pull the deadlock in because it feels like you have to right now, but you don't get the flash and dash, so you have Redux on 5 kills.
Yeah.
It's just the value just isn't there anymore from what we saw on Oxygen, so they're going to have to figure it out overnight before they drop to the lower bracket.
Yeah, and to me, it was an M80 that was making sure that they were playing their game, and an Oxygen that was forcing to play in the game of M80. That's how M80 ended up getting this 13-1 absolute dominant win on the map of Ascent. But we're gonna throw to some series highlights, and when we come back, we have an interview with Net.
I have the spike. One enemy remaining. Enemy down. One enemy remaining. Shield ready. One enemy remaining. Flawless. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Flawless. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Welcome back, everyone. For those who just missed it or are just tuning in, it was the M80 win over Oxygen in a 3-map series, and now we get the chance to talk to Net after this win, and as they continue to run through to this upper bracket. Net, congratulations on this win. The first question that I have for you is, you know, I want to talk about the resiliency that the team had today, because the first 2 maps you started 3-9 on a pretty big disadvantage. Were you getting that confidence back round after round, or was the energy always up?
I would say that we kind of got the confidence back round after round, but a big thing was, I'll contribute it to, is Xander's calling was immaculate, and it really kept us in the whole game. And honestly, everyone's energy, I think our experience really shined through, just because it really felt like no one gave up the whole time, and like our heads were in it the whole time. And even when we were down 9-3, or regardless of how big the deficit was, we were playing together and doing our best.
And also, is it like a kind of a sense of being more calm and relaxed when you win that pistol? You win what a 4K on Sunset. It seems like finally you guys can come back. Is those the little rounds that allow you to come back?
Yeah, I think the big thing is like, I just have full trust in my teammates, and I know how incredible they are, and I know they have that full trust in me. So the whole game, I'll never lose confidence because they have that confidence in me.
And talking about the compositions that we got the chance to see today, you guys have been running the Euro and Ascent for quite some time. You also got the chance to see now 2 times that composition that you were running on Sunset. When it comes to cooking these compositions, playing them out, making sure that they work out, what is the process of testing out different compositions and then finding out this is what we're going to run for playoffs?
The process is Happy tells us what to do, and we're like, Let's do it.
Okay.
Really happy.
Just like that.
Shout out to Happy. He really puts in the work. Same thing with our assistant coach Luke. Like, they're very smart and they're very thorough with their ideas. And because everyone puts in so much effort and practice, we're able to execute them at a high level. And when it comes to match time, we're all dialed in and locked in.
And something that we saw in Ascent is that your Ascent has been constantly good with this composition, with this Yuri that we just talked about. But it was an Oxygen that didn't give you a single answer. Do you think it was them kind of shutting down after that second map?
I think them losing those big advantages really shut them down, just because like it's just with anything, right? Like if you have a huge lead and you lose, you're really gonna kind of shake up. And I could tell that they weren't really comfortable on the comp / the map, so it's very big comfort zone for us and kind of uncomfortable for them. But shout out to them, man. They're a great team. That was a really hard game, and I'm confident we'll see them in the finals.
And we saw the energy up for everybody, I think, in that second map, especially when you guys were able to win it. Everybody was standing up, screaming, getting hype. So I want to ask you, you are one match away from making it to Ascension. Once again, this time around is going to be in Mexico. So what would it mean to you to make it to Ascension again and be able to win it again now with a different team?
It would mean everything, to be honest, just because like I unfortunately lost my position at G2, and I worked my whole career to get back into franchising. And I'm really looking to do it again, and I'm confident that we can do it with this roster. I have the full trust in everyone, and they trust in me, and I'm just thankful to be playing with such a great team and to be lucky to have the opportunity after the whole situation with G2. So shout out to my team, man. They really I was really out of it, honestly, after the situation, but I'm slowly finding myself again and getting myself back like day by day.
Yeah, we're definitely happy to see you making it through again. But for that match, that is going to be the one who's guaranteeing if you're moving to Ascension through the upper bracket is going to be Blin or Moist Shopify, which is the match that we have right after. Can you give me your predictions and who you think you're going to face and who's going to win that match?
I think we're going to face Moist just because they have more experience than Blin. I'm not underrating them or anything, but that's just my expectation. Anyone can win.
Yeah, anybody can take it. So we're going to see. Thank you so much, Net, for joining me. We're so happy to see you in the scene. We're so happy to see you succeed. We're going to go back and talk about that match that we're going to have next. It's going to be the Blin Moist Shopify. You already saw what Net has for that prediction, but we're going to throw it to a break. And when we come back, we'll have that one.
They say in life, there are no guarantees. They say a lot of stuff like that. Slow it down. Play it safe. Hedge your bets. So what? You gonna listen to that? You gonna stop because they can't guarantee you'll pull this off? No guarantee you'll win? No guarantee everything's gonna be fine? In life, you make your own guarantees. Nobody else will light your way. Start your own fire and keep it burning. And we guarantee you'll have one hell of a lifetime.